Oh my God, it's been one hell of a week. Should we get caught up on health tech fundraising deals or what?
I mean, what amazes me, Jessica, is that we've had a week like we've just had on the tail of the pandemic with all the protests and social unrest and police brutality and the craziness going on. And you'd have thought that the stock market should by now have collapsed completely and there should be no funding deals. But the stock market is nearly back up to where it was before. And are we going to be busy today?
Maybe just a little bit. It's the June 5th episode of Health in 2.00. Well, that was nice and depressing, Matthew Holt.
Jessica, we don't have to be happy and perky the whole time.
That's all I have going for me, Matthew.
Jessica, you're the world's leading health it girl, innovation reporter out there in the world. You have a lot more going for you.
Get it.
All right.
We have so many deals. Ready?
Okay, ready, steady, go.
All right, Bigfoot Biomedical. They close in on a $55 million C round.
Yeah, I think the 10 million just raised by drug company Abbott. No, who?
Abbott.
Yeah, Abbott, and they've done a deal with them for their CGM meet, the Freestyle Libre CGM meter. Really interesting company. We had Jeff Brewer, the CEO at Health 2.0, a couple of times. It's basically going to build that closed loop system, which is where they're really heading for. The closed loop instant delivery system should be a huge advance for diabetics. That stuff has been hacked together by amateurs so far, and this is going to be hopefully the leading professional version when it's out. Will be a couple of years, I think, though.
All right, Tictrac gets $7.5 million. This is like employee wellness using influencers.
Yeah, old friends of mine have been doing this. They were at Health 2.0 way the hell back when. I think one launched, I want to say 6-7 years ago. Steadily getting somewhere in the employer market, but it's a influencer plus gaming plus employee benefit wellness play. You know, very crowded space, but they're still cracking away.
Massive fundraising, $1.2 billion for Lifestance Health. What is this one?
Yeah, this is kind of an old world. Let's put together mental health therapists into a big conglomerate. So it's really a provider system deal, but they are doing a fair amount of telehealth. And you're going to see a lot more of these big consolidations of private equity into different areas. It's the first really big one I've seen in mental health.
All right, Maven acquiring Bright Parenting.
Yeah, that's like so they're I forget how much Maven's raised, but they're starting to make acquisitions to fill out what they're doing. I assume that if you are a female focused clinic, parenting happens. God knows, never happens around here.
How about Higi? Oh my God, $30 million. Babylon Health is the lead investor in this one.
Yeah, a bit weird. Higi has those like weird kiosks in lots of supermarkets and grocery stores and pharmacy chains. And Babylon, of course, is doing the symptom checking chatbot. I guess it's distribution for Babylon, which raised what, 500 million last year. So
something like that. How about Bright.md? They get $16.7 million in a C.
All right, this is so this is back to your thesis. So that's the 2 minutes up. That's back to your thesis of, give me something to do with COVID and telehealth and I'll throw money in it. And Bright.md has got the kind of asynchronous, if you tell the questionnaire what's going on with you, they will deliver that wrapped up in a little ball to your doctor who can click a button and then send back to you the drug or whatever, the prescription, the drug, the advice, whatever it is that you need. So it's like asynchronous telehealth.
Okay.
It's done pretty well, and they're growing relatively rapidly, selling this to small physicians, but also to bigger health systems like Sutter and others. Again, they've been at Health 2.0. I like the play there. They have a COVID special one, which they introduced relatively early in the COVID era. So that's what they're doing, and seem to be doing quite well.
So I need you to reset your timer because I've got a whole other page of deals.
What?
Yeah, whole other page.
Hang on. Didn't we interview Glenn Tillman and ask him a question in his role as sort of head of 7Wire way back at the start of this thing? Didn't we say, hey, Glenn, what are you guys doing? Did he say, oh, no, we're not going to be doing any more deals. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to slow down. There's no money. And we've been gone I know we're doing a little later this week, but we've been gone 7 days and there's now more deals than we possibly count.
Yeah, I have a whole other list. You're gonna have to reset that timer because there's no way. I'm first of all, we have to give all of these companies that have managed to raise money in these troubling times. when you're either in the mental health bucket or the telehealth bucket. We have to give them their due. They've got lost in this news cycle. Without us, who would even know these things are happening?
That's true. I mean, that's the incredible thing, right? So we're in this bizarro world where since the money was released into the stock market by the feds, and the stock market went back up from where it was collapsing, the real world economy is collapsing, but the stuff, did you see Zoom's numbers? I was kind of kidding about them being worth, 40 times revenues. And now they're only worth like 25 times revenues because their revenues have doubled. They beat revenue expectations by like 60%. Incredible. All right. I've got another 2 minutes. What do you got for me now?
Here we go. You ready?
Go.
All right. It's not going.
Go.
Tia raises $24 million in an A and women's health startup.
Okay. Tia's kind of another one. This is one of the ones which has added a whole bunch of activity around. So it's a clinic and it's virtual stuff, kind of similar to Maven, kind of similar to Parsley Health, focusing more though on obs and gynae, obstetrics and gynecology. I think starting in New York. I don't know if they're anywhere else yet, but they've also added some mental health. Okay.
What about Doktor.se? 45 million euro raise for a Swedish telehealth company.
Yeah, it's a big one in Sweden. There's another Swedish one. What's it called? I can't remember. There's another
that's
it. There's another Swedish telehealth company whose name I've blanked on that's raised about 90 million. So you'd think that in Europe, where most of this stuff comes from the state, that there wouldn't be so much demand for this stuff, but there's obviously a lot of excitement about it over there. And why not? They need telehealth too because they have lockdown as well.
All right. What about Orbita? 9 million in their A.
All right, so Orbita, Christy Ebong, our friend, is there. This is a company which knows about voice and voice recognition, kind of working with the Alexas and the Siris of the world and somehow formatting that and putting it into healthcare-specific tool sets. And they seem to have the that market corner. It's their first really big raise. So voice is going to be a big deal as people eventually change that interface layer. So
you better hurry up over there. How about Curatio, an undisclosed A they've raised for loneliness and isolation?
Curatio built an app years ago that won a challenge for that we ran at Health 2.0 regarding, and that was all about ADHD. So I have no idea what they do now, but they've been around for a long time, and well on them.
All right, how about Siren? 11.8 million. It's a smart sock company. I love those.
Don't give Ran Ma, the CEO there, who is the Chinese woman from Texas who spent a lot of time in Denmark, just to be completely international. It's a really cool, they won a Health 2.0 launch a few years back, and it's a really cool sock that tells that it's like material that can tell temperature in the foot, which is very relevant if you have diabetes and you can't test your foot temperature. There's one other company which does this, name and blanking, which has got like a thing, like a scale you stand on that's done well with a VA. And Siren's got the other approach, which is that they will send you basically subscribe to these socks. They send you the stocks. The socks then report by Bluetooth to an app as to whether you have a hot spot on your foot, which is where you might have a diabetic ulcer. And this is combating diabetic amputation, which is a really big deal. So it's a great thing.
Yeah.
It'll take a long time to get to this point, and hopefully more and more people with diabetes will be wearing these things. Okay, now we got through the list yet? Because that was so Health in 4.0.
Yeah, it could easily become Health in 6.0 because I have enough left.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You want to do 2 more minutes more? Am I going to get it? I thought I was going fast. I'm going to do...
You're not.
I mean, all right. All right.
You're too knowledgeable.
This is the most ridiculous Health in 2.0 yet, because we're now doing a triple header. This is like
a triple shot of Health in 2.00.
A triple shot? I don't know about triple shot. It's going to be a triple header and triple... Well, it's like baseball. We have to make up for the rain delay, and they have to play tomorrow's game today because... All right. One more.
Done it again. Do it. I got plenty to go.
Third 2 minutes going.
Going now.
Now.
Wow. All right, 100 plus. We missed this. It gets 15 million.
Yeah, this is actually only reported a while back. So this is Ryan Howard, and it was called iBeat or Help Beat something, but it's now changed its name back to 100 plus. Ryan Howard, who did Practice Fusion and left there kind of before all the real shit went down, or not clear, but left in a kind of a grumpy mood with his VCs. Ended up doing this thing, which is a remote monitoring company, has a bunch of devices for doing that. And they took the name 100 plus instantly. Chris Hogg had a company called 100 plus, which he sold to Practice Fusion way back when. And they kept that name somehow. Ryan kept that name, and that's the name they're using. So
interesting.
Interesting. Remote monitoring is going to be a super hot area in the next few years, no question.
All right, what about Ubie? Japanese startup, they get 18.75.
Yeah, these guys were worth £200. Remember them? It was like a questionnaire that you like, kind of like Frasier. You fill in the questionnaire in the lobby, and you build a part of a health record. I think it had some telehealth stuff, which is just started being legal in Japan attached to it as well. I can't remember. I remember them being very smart guys. Been very impressed with it.
Okay. Change Healthcare acquires 2 different companies in 2 months. So they acquired a PDX, it's called, for $208 million just recently, which does specialty and outpatient pharmacy software. And last month they acquired for $213 million ERX, an e-prescribing tool company.
So Change was basically runs claim systems, and then they're now going back upstream towards their customers. I don't know if they inherited the thing that McKesson bought, which is the name I'm blanking on, that was called All My Meds, About My Meds, which was the utilization review company as well. But they're basically going upstream and going back to their end users and building more stuff around it. I don't know why they're doing that, presumably because they just feel they have to grow.
Oh, all right. And what about these special funds that have been opened by Andreessen Horowitz and Softbank, focusing on founders of color? Weigh in for me on that. How do you think that's going to shake out here in health tech, Matthew Holt?
Okay, are we done? That was the beeper. So now I get to answer this question, but are we done with deals after 6 minutes? All right. I mean,
well done, sir. I mean,
look, every
have a moment here.
Look, every company, corporate, and everyone in America is saying, we've got to acknowledge there's a massive problem. Let's do something about it. I mean, how much can a venture fund do, or a SoftBank, or an Andreessen Horowitz? Well, they can also do a lot more than, Andreessen Horowitz's initial fund is only a couple of million, so they can also do a lot more than that. SoftBank said, what, 100 million?
Yes. There
are, we know that there is underrepresentation of people of color, especially African Americans and Hispanics particularly, and, and especially minority women, up and down the road in venture capital and in technology. It's been a bigger problem now even than it was, 15, 20, 30 years ago. Having said that, the real problem in America is not with not enough venture capitalists and not enough entrepreneurs. The real problem with America is way downstream. It's with housing and education and economic opportunity and development and criminal justice and policing and blah, blah, blah. And that's what, the people on the streets now are not protesting, not enough, senior black venture capitalists. So it's great they're doing this, but that's not to my mind, if we're going to go and look at real problems in America, whether they touch health, housing, education, food, energy, whatever they touch, we've got to try and fix everything in the next little bit, because if we don't, global warming is coming and we have more problems coming down the path. But we do have a huge amount of technology in all different sectors, not just in healthcare, to help us do that. So I think, we may be at a moment where, assuming that we get rid of the current lunatic incumbent in the White House and replace him with someone more sensible, there's a whole bunch of stuff that can be done. We've got a lot of work to do, and everyone's got to play their part. And right now it's very, very fragile times. And yes, it's better they're doing something than nothing, but obviously we can do a lot more.
Well said. I'm proud of you. 3 2-minute rounds there it took us, but we got through all of those deals.
I don't think I could have done all 17 or whatever there were in 2 minutes. Although, didn't one say do like 12 or something?
Your record was 13, but I did not think that you were going to make it through the 17 things.
I didn't even know you had like that extra page. So. What
happens when you don't talk to me for a whole week? It's like I get lost.
You get far too creative. All right. Okay, so we should go, but should we also say that we are going to be on a thing together?
Yes. So the Going Digital Behavioral Health event that is being curated by how do you say her last name? Tubibu?
I think it's Tubibu. Salome.
Yes. Am I pronouncing it?
Salome Smith, because we're too incompetent.
No. I
think it's how
you pronounce it. I may be adding an extra syllable.
But for people who want to Google it, it's called Going Digital Behavioral Health. Mm-hmm. And it's actually a really, she's got everybody on this thing.
She has curated is nothing less than incredible in terms of pulling in different perspectives about what's going on in mental health. on the health tech side. And then, I mean, she's got some great folks from, I mean, not only just startups, but also incumbent organizations. Who's Kennedy is speaking. I forget who else. Alex
JFK or RFK?
There's like a number of people who have really made a lot of strides in this space who I think are going to be fantastic to listen to. And then you and I are lumped in there too.
Yeah, and we're going to be giving like a review of the sort of deal stuff, and we'll try and put some of this stuff in perspective around what happens. And maybe we'll do a health and do. Maybe well, shouldn't get too much.
All right.
When is this thing? That's like June the 16th, 17th, 18th?
I think
right? 16th?
Yeah.
All right. We'll put a note about that in the thing. It's up there, not down there. It's the way we do it.
All right. Well, this is spiraling out of control. So let's say thanks to everybody. You can follow along with us on Twitter, of course. He is at BoltyBoy. I am at Jess Tomasa. And of course, you can subscribe to receive these Health and 2.0 which are usually a third.
Only one, not three.
Well, they're as long as they are right now. Directly into your inbox, just go to thehealthcareblog.com and sign up there. Thank you guys so much for your attention. Not once, not twice, but 3 times while we talk through 2 minutes of Q&A about the biggest funding deals in health tech this week. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye.